I can't remember. We were on the phone and she was like, I really would love. Just really.
Well,
and Jenni wanted to talk to her daughter when she's sick. She's sick.
Nah, yeah, you talking about where she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna hold her and read to her," and
yeah, she said something like, I can't remember. We were on the phone and she was like, I really would love to talk to Rue, and I'm like, do not do that. That's a minor. Like, do not talk to anybody's kid. Like, that's going way too far. I was like, Jenni, I really think this has become like a bit toxic. Like, that's crossing the line, right?
Like she was wanting to contact her somehow.
Yeah, like she wanted to have a relationship. She thought that if Andy would get your daughter, then she would be able to talk to her. This is all just to. They're obsessed. They're fucking obsessed. Like, I draw the line. Some places you have to draw the line. Yes, I reacted to your videos. Like,
yeah, I knew that she had.
Up shit, but you don't go in people's real lives and want to be a confidant for Jody's daughter. Like, that's not normal. I don't give a fuck. That's not normal.
It tells you that it's like she said that on a live, sort of, when she got near whatever she was, or maybe it was in the back.
Yeah, I tell no lie. I would never make this shit up. Swear.
No, I'm saying in the live, in one of them, she said something similar that she wanted to.
I would be surprised that she admitted it out of her own face. She really did. I was shocked by it. I was like, wow. Like, this is.
It's gross.
It's weird.
But you got to think what she was really wanting Air Force to get information on Summer. They're tampering with every witness, whether it's a minor or not.
I know.
And they're doing that to terrify us and to try to discredit us and to harm us and break us down and to screw everything up in Summer's case.
Yeah, well, they're doing a great job. I just hope not on the end of law enforcement.
Well, what did she say when you told her that was fucked up, her wanting near my child to...
It's funny because I remember it was the day we were talking about 333 and 337 Snaps Ferry Road. Mm-hmm. It was that day, and Cam was live. And Jenni was like, he's an idiot. And then it was that day that she actually said, what was it that you just said again? Remind me again.
And then what did she say when you told her that was fucked up, that she was wanting near my kid like that?
What I was going to say was she never did really say much. Like, when I said to her on the phone, and I was like, Jenni, that's a lot. Like, she didn't say anything. She's like, but in order to get, it was this stupid shit, like, in order to get answers about Summer, and I'm like, yeah, but no. Like, you're actually really trying to interfere, like, with her real life. Like, this is not just, like, that you can't, I said, you've become so obsessed with Jody's personal life. What my exact words to her was that we were, like, losing track of Summer. Like, you are now taking on Jody's household situation as if it's a concern to you, and you're leaving Summer behind to focus on Jody's daughter. And Jody's daughter is a teenager, and by the time you were ever to see Andy in court, she'd be 18 anyway. I'm like, that's a lost cause, if you ask me. I said, and he's not going to fight for her, so it makes no sense. He said the man has made no effort whatsoever to have a relationship with his kids from where I sit. I'm like, you're asking someone to go to court for something he doesn't even want. Like, I don't understand all this. Like, it's become an obsession with Jody. And that's exactly what I said. It has become become an obsession. She didn't have anything to say. She stayed very quiet. And more as I started, like, because I guess maybe they thought, like, I'd be cool with, like, a lot of shit just because, like, I did react to your stuff. I just feel there's a difference between what I did and what they did. They were very interested in your personal life. I was not. I did not try to get up in your business, your family. They did. I thought that was weird. I've never liked that. I don't like that. Even when people attack my family, I don't want to attack theirs. Like, I will go look around and see what I can find, but I'm not gonna, like, call someone's mom or, whatever. It's just weird. But I felt that it had crossed the line with her. She never really did say much. I brought it up several times to her. It wasn't just once. I definitely said something to Jenni on more than one occasion about she was going too far. I told you I would testify to this, to my hand to the Bible. I told her she was going too far on more than one occasion. I was like, this is too far. You're just going too far. Like, this is not healthy, and it's not about Summer at all anymore. It's about Jody and Andy and their family. So I don't get that. She never did have an explanation. I never got one.
I mean, like you said a minute ago, I mean, it was that so she could get answers for Summer. So that tells you why she was aiming for my kid.
She thinks that the only thing that I could possibly draw from what she responded back with was that she would think that Memphis would have knowledge of, what happened with Summer. But even that is crazy. To even say, like, I want to get close to her daughter, to get information about Summer, that's a job that I believe law enforcement's already sat down with your daughter multiple times. So does Jenni think that she's a fucking federal agent? Like, what is going on here? No, you don't talk to people's kids.
I mean, that's her basically. I mean, and the thing is, it's her literally aiming to set out to take away, tamper with a witness, a minor one, and get a hold of them in order to further tamper and manipulate and fuck up shit. That is the highest level of witness tampering and shit that you can imagine.
She wasn't successful. She never did make it to your daughter, thank God. But that's what I think she was trying to do with Andy. You see how they're not, like, really propping him up anymore? Like, what are they doing back there?
They're actually trying to do shit, I think, to trigger him out again, and they're now trying to eat him, but in a cursory way. But, I mean, that tells me that she had this plan in her mind and was just waiting on a moment to grab it. I'm sure she talked about this shit and my daughter before anything was ever done with the false 5150s they were aiming for and the emergency custody shit they were going to aim for with that SWAT shit and with the court shit with Andy and trying to get custody. It's like the judge even told him in the courtroom not to be filing for that shit until after he could prove, and he had paid to prove, that Rue was even his, and he did it anyway. And I know they're the ones that gave him the money.
Absolutely, I agree. I don't have proof of that. They never spoke about it with me, but
he immediately went that day and filed and put this quick, hurried line in it, and it was the dumbest shit I'd ever seen. Even the judge was pissed the second time. He's like, I told you not to even do this until you went and paid to make sure that, she was hurt, this and the other, right? And Andy had done it anyway. And the only way he was going to have that money at that point was through them in this place and everything else. So, yeah, I'm not a dumbass. And that's when Andy and Stahl released paperwork against the judge's orders immediately from the parking lot.
How is someone's car alarm going off while they're driving? That's so weird. They don't know how does that happen. It's stolen? Like, what the fuck?
Right. But that tells me,
that's a little worrisome.
Okay. She had to mention this shit to you and be planning that shit out or thinking it in her head before anything ever actually occurred.
I don't recall her ever saying no, because I think that all went down with Shay, because I feel like Shay was showing those documents before, and I was on a live, and that's what I was covering when I was talking. I was actually yelling at you, like, I'm pretty sure was pissed at you about something, and that's when I was covering shit, and they said there was a big issue, and your daughter was being held hostage, and I was like, great, I'm just gonna shut everything down because I don't want anybody to be hurt. Obviously, like I'm not trying to hurt anybody. Like I don't want to go any further, and we're gonna private this. Like please don't bother Jody. Like I didn't know what was going on, and that's when I
It
ended
was
up on
Shay
that
with the
phone call.
recordings at that point. Old ones.
Huh?
It was Shay with recordings. It was AB that come out with the paperwork.
I thought Shay came out with the paperwork.
No, because there was never paperwork on my kid being held hostage and shit.
No, paperwork like the restraining order paperwork.
Oh, I don't know.
That's what I was talking about. Shay was showing that or something. I don't
She
remember.
was doing the recordings with my kid.
But I could have sworn she was showing documents on her channel that day too. I can't remember. It's been so long, but I'm pretty sure that stuff is up right now. It's unlisted. It's all unlisted. And I'm literally want to just private everything. I feel so sick to my stomach. I'm disgusted now with so many things. You have no idea what the fuck. These people are accusing me now of showing Benny's dick and taking pictures of him. Like,
well, if it's ever needed in court settings, would you mind to testify or send in a statement saying that you personally heard Jenni planning and plotting this shit in order to get near my daughter, get control over to where she could get near to...
Jenni said it to me, personally. Jenni said it to me. You can record me. I'm sure you are. Jenni's told me straight up that she was trying to get close to your daughter. Yes, absolutely. I would testify in a court of law with my hand to the Bible. Yes,
that way she could get information about Summer.
She didn't say directly, that's what, like, she didn't say, I want to get close to Jody's daughter to get information about Summer. But that was her excuse to me when I was like, this has gone too far, like, to focus on Jody's household. And she's like, well, how else are we going to get information about Summer? So it came later, but it wasn't said to me directly. That's why. It was when I pressed her as to why she was doing what she was doing. Yes.
And see, Andy would have put it, like you can see in his inbox, he's confused. He calls Jenni and Adrean liars. He says these bitches have got it twisted, and now I'm getting punished.
Them too, though. Like,
and it was about money, and Monster went for little because of money, and he would have sold them off and everything else, and let Jenni and them run her in order for money. You know?
I think so too.
But that blackmail letter, it goes with the whole kids are going to be taken, child support owed, child support paid, whatever, right? And Monster and Stahl would have done it to get me paying child support too, on top of everything else they've stolen and done and ain't paying, you know, and the money they're making, the fortune they've made, and behind the scenes of being pushed to them to do what they've done to us, as it looks like, oh, he's just all quiet and shit. No, he ain't. And he ain't ever been. It's horseshit.
Wow, J is for Justice is in White Boy's comments under his last post. That's so weird.
She's been circling in there. She's been making her appearance again lately.
Okay. This is weird. I'm sorry. Where did this come from? That now I'm alleged. I've never taken a photo of Benny in my life. I would never do that to him.
And Brooks coming back out on the scene this blatantly. I mean, this is weird times.
And someone's got him believing that I would. Like, to the point he's like, you didn't, like, really do that to me, right? No, I would never. But someone's in his head enough for that. He's doubting me like that. So that's fucked up. See what I mean? What is actually happening here with White Boy and Jay? See? And then, I don't know. Benny brought up that guy the other day. I don't know.
You know, Doohickey was a mod for Jenni and Adrean and them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like Doohickey. I think she was working for them the whole time.
She was. I knew this from the get when I let her on.
I feel that way about someone else, but I won't say that to you. But
I'm aware.
Okay.
Never think I'm not aware. I'm aware.
I know you're. Like, I know you're not, and I'm not saying that's the case. Listen, I'm just saying I have my doubts. Like, okay, well, I don't really trust that particular.
Well, why else would people still be currently copying my chat? For what purpose? And everywhere I go, they're copying the chats. It don't take
I don't
a
know.
leap.
It's for all the rage over there at AB's. He didn't even take Thanksgiving off. Fuck. You couldn't even eat Thanksgiving dinner with your kid without AB being like, that actually really pissed me off when I opened YouTube and saw he was live about you on Thanksgiving. I could have actually punched him in the face. Yeah, he went live on Thanksgiving night with you in the subject and everything. And I was just like, this is so fucked. I remember I went in my Discord and I'm like, this motherfucker can't even leave her alone on Thanksgiving. Like, that's gross.
It's abusive. It's a tactic. Jenni and Adrean, all the manipulators, they're going to know it hits the same centers as Monster doing shit. And he would enjoy it too, so he'd probably ask for it. All holidays, the son bitch shows up. I mean, it's just one of them things, and they know dates matter. But either way, I didn't pay any attention on Thanksgiving because I was with my family celebrating Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he's a loser.
So whatever, and that's where Jenni and Adrean and all them and Penny are right now. It's telling.
Well, Penny's hiding, and I have not forgotten about her, but hey, now we have Ryan and Jen running around, so that's great. These people have literally, like, made me sick. Truly made me sick. And I don't even feel like I'm myself right now. It's gross. They're all gross. And I'm sad for Summer. She doesn't deserve this. And I wish I could fix it. And it's making me angrier and angrier. And there's nothing I can do. And I do wish, like, the state of Tennessee would step in. I mean, if she was to be found today, who would have rights to her? They would. So why are they not advocating for her? She's on the National Center for Missing and Exploiting Children. She's the most exploited child I've ever seen. Why is this happening to her? Yep. That's my question. Why are they allowing? When do they step in and say no? Like, no more. Like, when does that happen? Yep. And I hate that because it would take, but do we really need Summer's? Everybody here knows Summer's information. Everyone in this community, but those 340,000 followers on Pinterest have never seen Summer's face. Why is he hiding her? Why is he hiding her away from 340,000 followers on Pinterest? But he's over here. See? That's my question. And he won't share her over there to 340,000 new faces to help find her? That's fucking weird. That's fucking weird. No. I don't buy what they're selling at all. Yeah. And it's probably a good thing that I wasn't the neighbor, because I'd probably be arrested by now, so.
Well.
I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. But call me another time, Jody. I'm going to lay down for a little bit. I don't feel well.
All right, then. All
right.
Talk to you later. they did the break-in share. It was like Andy.
Adrean sent it to Benny. And then come out going to 125 for...
Wanted to search. Jenni was in there with Andy. His propane tank that had newly been filled up. After I pissed off all the right people, I guess. I don't know. But this was... It was like $80,000 or $90,000 worth of shit.
Now, okay, so you're saying Andy went into their chat, huh?
Yeah, supposedly.
What was he saying? Do you know what he was saying?
Yeah, it was stuff. First of all, he's talking shit in a vague way about me, but wasn't vague. He told
Talking
Ryan
shit about you?
Yeah, because Ryan, I guess, on the screen, on the live was like something, I don't know, but they wanted to search. Jenni was in there with Andy, supposedly, or at least a monster account. Yeah. And it was that Ryan was going to search 125 or go up there, and Andy was like, call me, get in contact.
Ryan's talking about going to 125 for...
Yeah, and Monster told him to get a hold of him, and this was after my life, so that's why I speculate on it being real, Monster or not. But here's the thing. What happened was Monster's like, yeah, get a hold of me, this and there, blah, blah, we'll talk, but expect shit to get worse on you. She'll do whatever, I don't know. And Ryan's like, oh, it's too late.
Everybody see how everyone reacted when Benny even talked about going up there? Scott was threatening to cut down trees on us, like, literally the craziest shit, like, and the money came from Adrean. So Benny was not paid by Andy. Andy paid Adrean the money, right? It was something like $300.
You mean Adrean paid Andy?
Adrean sent it to Benny. And that's the way the transaction worked. And then Adrean denied it ever happening. They cut Benny out. Chasing ended up with them.
But Benny's the one that sent the money through, and then Adrean paid Andy.
No.
That's what Benny himself said.
So
he said he'd already paid Andy, and he was getting on that property anyway. And I know from others on the ground that's the way it worked too.
Yeah, that's what he said. I remember him saying that. He said he would get on with or without, or whatever, because he was pissed that Andy...
And he'd already paid for it.
Because he felt that he paid for Adrean and Jenni. And Adrean and Jenni, like, I shouldn't say, I don't want to...
He bought them the equipment, all that shit to go, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so he was like, wow, so I actually paid for them to get on the property, so he was pissed. I don't think Benny would really go up there, to be honest. I don't think Benny would go anywhere right now. That's just my opinion.
Well, Benny, I don't think can go anywhere right now.
He could travel, but he'd have to actually
get permission.
Set it up to go.
Yeah.
And he can't be away from his house in the night hours.
And then he probably can't be around felons like Andy or Candace and Dawn right now.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
He can't. And he knows that he can't. So, like, that's also why I feel very strange about what I see. Like, so when he's ever removed, because he removed a lot of snakes from his app.
Then Ryan threatening me in PGs and giving me a date, 3-day timeline.
Do this or do that, and it's just very obvious to me because they notice, it's the way they operate, and he can be bought, and that sucks.
But yeah, that whole they were going to go to 125. Then Ryan threatening me in PGs and giving me a date, 3-day timeline before he was going to basically fuck me up and shit like that, And
what was he saying to you? A 3-day timeline to what? That he was going there?
No, he gave me a 3-day timeline after all that shit with Andy and all that in his live stream where Jenni was there. the other night in PG's, when I checked in, he was in there running hot. And then his dumbass went, wait for it, you got 3 days till we expose all of your lies. And I was like, great, well, your little trip to 125 is supposed to be whenever. And I knew about the Trevor shit by this point. Then apparently they've not went to 125, and now that video yesterday was him trying to scope out Fields Road and private property, but yeah, I don't think it's going to happen either. Probably trying to get in there saying the Bernard's property. I had people advertising for his bullshit last night in my chat. And I'm like, he ain't going nowhere, because I tell you what, all that shit's fucked, and Andy's family finds that, and look, So anyway, I think it's all fucking set up to piss me off, to do whatever, I don't know, but I'm not pissed off about it. I just know that anybody letting these sons of bitches on their property is stupid as hell. And I know there's a whole hornet's nest that would be stirred by just the field shit that Andy's family would not want to deal with and aren't going to deal with.
Oh, Ryan said, okay, I remember. He said that he went and searched Fields Road.
That was last night.
Did he go?
He went down there and he drove on it. He drove on like Fields Road itself. But he didn't have anybody with it, and it was, this private property looks interesting. But in my chat, people were coming over being like, yeah, he's getting ready to go search Fields Road, the Bernard's property in this area. It's like, they're trying to bait me and goad me, and I just don't care. And people are stupid. The command post is right there across from Fields Road. Like, they could literally see that shit and coming and going and had cameras on it from night one, right? And the church cameras, too. Do you know how stupid this is? Do you know how fucking stupid this is?
I think the Fields Road is going to be like an attack on you.
I don't care. If they ain't going to get on, I'm telling you, the only way on... Look, it don't matter to me. I don't care. I'm sure Fields is to try to attack me, but all it's going to do is fuck Andy, his family up, and put them in jeopardy of lawsuits, and it's going to get other neighbors who are very church-oriented pissed the fuck off. They're going to be doing shit. They're going to definitely sue the shit out of Andy's family. And there's nothing to really search there. You get what I'm saying? It's stupid. And it's going to stir up a whole hornet's nest all the way through the creek. It's going to get Andy's family sued. It's going to get probably Jen and Ryan sued. Anybody else with them. And Monster's going to be in deep shit with everybody inside of Beach Creek, including his own family if he allows it. And he can't really give permission for Ryan to search any of those properties because none of them are in his name nor belong to him. And I'll tell you, the other neighbor, well, there's two, but the other neighbor is definitely not going to give permission for their shit to be crossed to get there. And so, yeah, nope. And I'm telling you, these sons of bitches are... That community's so fed up with them, Tiffany, somebody's going to end up hurt. One of these YouTubers is going to end up in ICU or fucking dead.
I'm not wishing that on anybody. A lot of think the money that comes from these randos that gets pushed out to certain people is from somewhere, but where would it be from? And that's what I mean. Who would do that and why? What is that purpose? Like, who is pulling the strings that no one ever hears about? That's who bothers me. Is it like for a documentary one day or something? Like, that's what I'm saying.
They're all after
something that
something,
matters,
Tiffany.
or is it something that doesn't?
And think about it, in the end, if Ryan can get famous off of it or get another something or a book or a TV special like Jenni, Adrean, all that, any of them looking for all that shit, of course it's worth its weight in gold, right? To even do it without a cent until, they make a fortune off whatever it is at the end. So, of course.
So, okay, I know that you don't like Cam and Allie. I've had my issues with them too, but when I was speaking to Allie on the phone, and she was telling me about what happened with their kids.
Well, I mean, I don't like them, but I don't want them dead and buried in a casket or anything.
Now, I don't know if this is bullshit, but
I mean, you and I both know what they did to my son and that they did it on purpose. And that it was a lie.
This is important. It's important. Allie goes, oh my God. She was talking about Don. Do you remember the story he told about the CPS worker that was looking at Summer funny?
Yeah.
That's what Allie was talking about to me. And while she was talking about it, she was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. She's like, Cam, do you remember when Rain came running into the house? It was a couple. So what she told me is that Cam's mom had been gone for 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, not seeing the kids at all. And showed up to take them camping. And she didn't want the kids to go, but she let them go. She didn't want to have, like, a fight.
Yeah.
So she kept in touch with them. They called for 4 days, and she never heard from them again. They were completely removed from them. Now, she said a week or two before this happened, her daughter came running into the house screaming that there was a man in the woods watching her and her friends playing. And I get chills when I'm telling you, I don't like this. And she described to him to Cam and Allie. Cam said it took him 3 seconds to run outside. He said, I said, how long did it take to get outside? He said, I ran immediately out the door. It was 3 seconds. There was no one there. But their daughter said that he kept backing up further and further into the woods as she was running like into the house. She looked back. She couldn't see him anymore. But that he was fat and he had a bald head. Strange, right?
A little strange.
Not that I don't repeat that. Obviously, she told me. I don't know if people are targeting people. I have no idea. I don't. But it's sad as fuck. Now, could she just be saying this and bullshitting? Probably, yeah, there's a chance. But not the way it came out, because we were like talking about Summer somehow.
Look, I'm not a paranoid person, but considering what YouTube and all the crazies have done, and that there's still a perpetrator or perpetrators around here of some variety, it's like the kids at home and everything else. It's like, they can go play. I don't see a problem with that. Never thought a thing about it, But here where we're at, it's such an open space and it's like so close. But right now with all this shit going on and how we've been doxxed and done, and people forget that also there's a peeping Tom that I know around here of some variety. It's like the kids at home and everything else. It's like, they can go play. I don't see a problem with that. Never thought a thing about it, But here where we're at, it's such an open space and it's like so close. But right now with all this shit going on and how we've been doxxed and done, and people forget that also there's a peeping Tom that I know was working in a duo right? That was watching myself and my daughter. Well, now that motherfucker knows where we're at, knows obviously Andy's not present, whether it was Dawn or not, it doesn't matter. Somebody out here knows that we're on our own.
Yeah, Jody, I do worry for, a lot of people do say that.
And then what Jenni and Adrean, Ziggy, the rest have done have been bringing people to our fucking door that are some dangerous motherfuckers. And her getting hurt, it's like, I shouldn't have to worry about my almost 16-year-old kid in a way to where I worry if she walks between the main and here and I listen for footsteps. I make sure she messages me when she goes back and forth. But there have been days like she's just sitting out back, under gazebos or whatever and away from to where people can take pictures and shit or do whatever. And she's taking her own time, you know what I mean? She's doing her own thing, and she just
yeah, she should be able to go outside like a
but
kid.
she forgot to message or something like that, or I miss her because there's so many damn doors and entrances, and I miss her in crossing, and I mean, I have literally flipped out within seconds and been like screaming for her because I'm like, oh my God, she just went this way. Where is she? And she was supposed to be here last to see her was here. And it's only been seconds, and I'm like, holy shit, and start panic looking for her. And, I mean, like, and she happened to have her headphones on one day and was out there, so she couldn't hear me. And I'd missed her somewhere in the laundry room and downstairs going up through the back. And we had crossed because the front door, back doors, laundry room, bows and things, and it's terrifying. And I've never had that worry about them ever in life. But now it's like, I'm afraid somebody could take her because they're a nutter from Summer's thing, or hurt her, or there's who we don't know who took Summer yet, or what the deal is, or if somebody did take her. We don't know, but what I do know is that her and I have had a peeping Tom that was so persistent. It was over the course of years. That was some of the scariest shit I've ever seen. Even Card Team agreed with me on it. And Ansley and these other media, I mean, they're like, there's something fucking wrong here. The dates on it, you know what I mean? And when I mentioned it to the feds and stuff, they were like, yeah, that ain't right. And there was literally fucking gifts showing up of shit and that's a power move. That's I can hear you, I see you, bitch. You know what I mean? This is a person that escalated. This is not cool, man. That person and the person they were working with.
I don't think anyone would fuck with you because I think they would be fucking crazy too, especially knowing you stay on camera a lot. Like, you have cameras outside. If someone was to, I don't know who that guy that you took a picture of or whatever, but that was creepy as fuck. Like, I wouldn't think anybody would, especially on the main road. But then again, a lot of things happen in places.
Yeah, but see, I know that had to do with Jenni and Adrean feeding out information because what he come here with and first said to me is not publicly known because the shit's not listed publicly. And had to get from my siblings somehow in a conversation and then pass through to these motherfuckers who they have put out as me snitching on, and then that sumbitch shows up and the first things he goddamn says after I double dog dare anybody to show the fuck up here and he shows up like that, the first thing he says to me is about something that's, and the only way it could have been discerned was through contact with my sibling, and she slipped up and said something. And so I know that fuck shit that's going on YouTube is going back to these motherfuckers, or it was Monster mentioning it to these fucking crazy sons of bitches. But he wouldn't have known unless it was through Jenni and Adrean or my sibling either. So you get what I'm saying? There's a connection there. And it involves these assholes. This dude shows up at my door. I'm like, yeah, I know who the fuck you are. Don't play me like I'm stupid. But then he wants to know about some first words out of his mouth. And I'm immediately like, yeah, I know this dumb sumbitch ain't got the millions for the price tag. And I knew instantly, even him showing up was enough. But what he first said and then what he tried to change it to and all that, it was too much. We're lucky that day I didn't swing and fuck this motherfucker up. because I thought about it. Every part of me wanted to, and I was like, just chill, just chill.
I can't
But
see.
yeah, it's. I think the reason Chase you don't see YouTubers popping up in my driveway is because I really would fuck one of them up in a heartbeat. That's probably the most unwise decision anybody will ever make. Is if they
Outs.
show up here, they will get fucked up if they cross the property line.
Yeah, you have every right to do so. No one should be coming on your property. Like, I think you have every right to fuck someone up if they come around your way. Like, no bullshit.
And it may not be healthy right now, and it may kill me to put out that much energy in a burst, but trust me, I still can and will. Do not fuck with my family. Don't come here. You know? And most people around here have common sense. Because I don't, like, I'm not a badass or like, oh my god, I can whatever, you know?
I
But,
don't think that you're a badass. Well, I think that you probably should give yourself more credit because not many could hold their own, right? So that, yeah, in a way, you are because many people would never be able to do what you do, right? So, but they
look,
know.
Pap taught us that if we're gonna do whatever, then we better be ready to get our asses handed to us, even if it ain't fair, even if the fight's like one of those, like, you know, somebody did do something extraordinarily wrong, you still are likely to get your ass handed to you, right? But to stand up and do it anyway if it's the right thing to do. To fight when fighting's necessary and not to when it's not, and never to throw the first swing unless, you know, you're in extreme danger. Let the other motherfucker throw the first punch type of shit. But be ready to, at some point, get your ass kicked. Whether it's right or wrong, get up and walk away after that. Shake hands, dust off, call it a day, you know, but so we're not raised to be like, oh, I'm a big badass, I can beat anybody, you know. But we are taught to defend ourselves and what's right and wrong. And, you know, we were taught to do so well enough that we don't have to have weapons. You know, so, but it's like, in this particular situation, it's like I've been very calm, but I'm still want to do not show up here. Do not fuck with my kid. Do not fuck with my family. Don't even pull in here unless you have an invite. And I take every person that does so. Um, I'm definitely side eyeing, and I take them as a threat.
You should take them as a threat. Anybody coming to your door or talking about coming to your door or fucking with you in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, yeah, you should take them. That is a threat to your mental well-being as well as your physical, because you don't know who they are and you don't know what people are capable. Anybody could find any of us. I mean, this motherfucker's talking about how he'd throw a flamethrower. Where, Ryan? Where do you want to throw a
And the
flamethrower?
other night, somebody really went up to the family business again.
Chat, huh?
Yeah, supposedly.
What was he saying? Do you know what he was saying?
Yeah, it was stuff
couple people, it means a couple people are going to like point it out. You know, people are going to say things when it matters in those chats what people are saying. Like, you know, you can despise someone all you want, but to, you know, what we see go on the regular, it's a lot, and people do turn their cheek in. It's a very unhealthy, toxic community to be in, but I will say something usually, mostly if I feel that like people are disrespecting Summer, because I don't feel she has anybody doing that for her, and it's frustrating for me to watch.
The only way to help Summer online and YouTube is to go back to the very beginning, the very first day, find who was involved in the insertion, find out their lies, the connections, place it online, tell what they're really about that marathon, because if that can be unwound, the chicken or the egg factor can be unwound. Why was Chase
sending money to that guy in New York? Why did he set that BTS mic? I didn't know about all this. Benny was telling me about it the other day. It seems like the more that we peel back together, the heavier these people, like, fuck with shit. Like, there's stuff going on. And I don't know what it is, but, like, pretty much the moment that he brought out that thing the other day, I did not know that Chase was trying to send that guy $3,000. I'm like, why would Chase be trying to send a guy in New York $3,000? What's going on with that? Like, why? Chase would drop hundos, like, around the time of the end of all of this stuff, like, when he was really showing off, but $3,000, where did he get $3,000 to send to anybody? And why is this guy in New York, and he's a sex offender, and then was arrested for sodomizing a 14-year-old? Are you fucking kidding me? So, do you know anything about that? Because Benny brought that up, and then this JM lady, like, immediately needed to talk to him about Kim and Allie, but it wasn't really about Kim and Allie. It was a bunch of crap. See, these are the things, like the sequence of events. Calling out Ryan, then Angel pops up after Kim and Allie. Like, right? So the sequence, and White Boy somehow is in here pulling strings for what the fuck? Really? It's very odd. I see what's going on. I'm seeing that. You know, and I have to step out of it to even look at it and see it without sounding like a crazy person. But the sequence of events is very, very specific to me, and I've took notes of everything and the way that it's going on and the way that it's taking shape, and the same cycle that happens that I don't ever talk about. Certain things people will never know. What my personal, like, observations and my own friendships are, or whatever, I notice these things are happening, and I'm watching it, and it's every time something gets brought up. Like,
yeah, it always is. It should bother you more right now that everybody's changing back into their original clothing and showing up suddenly.
It does.
And if you talk to Benny, tell him to lay the fuck off of the whole. Apparently he thinks that's rent and a deposit or something. But he's trying to keep people from helping if they want to. I'm not asking for it, you know what I mean? But that's what he laid into yesterday, or the day before. Tell him shut the fuck up.
If I talk to him, I will, but I haven't talked to him since yesterday, and I did not answer my phone. So.
I mean, seriously, he's made enough off of our backs, so's Penny. I don't think people, you know.
I can't control what he does either, Dirty. Like, I don't think Benny has any, he doesn't talk about you in a bad way. He's actually been like, I don't know why he does what he does. You have no idea. If I could make an excuse for Benny, I can't make excuses for Benny. I don't know why he does what he does ever. Sometimes I have a hard time understanding it myself, so I can't stop him from saying stupid shit, because he says stupid shit to me, so I can't even change.
Yeah, well, for starters, when he did that live, I guess last night before, whatever it was.
Which one was it?
I don't know. The one that's been a long time coming. The one I went over last
Okay,
night.
the one that was supposed to be about Penny, yeah, because the
Yeah, the
FBI called
FBI,
me.
all that shit. But he threatens everybody and their brother in it, which will look real good if he's actually going to
Well,
court
it's
for
weird
harassment.
because that morning he wanted nothing to absolutely nothing to do with anything to do with YouTube. He got really sketched out and bothered after he saw Cam and Allie on that FaceTime. Like, I don't know what happened to him. Like, it really upset him, I think. I don't know. I think it was triggering. It was triggering to me, and I'm not even recovering
Bothered me
addict.
too,
Like,
and you know how I feel about him. So,
yeah,
you know.
I know. Like, I
Were
don't.
you aware
Listen,
that
Cam and
Allie was
Allie were not
accessing
people I was
people's...
friends with.
Were you
Like, I was
aware that
never friends
Allie...
with them.
Were you aware that Allie was illegally accessing people's medical shit for this group and being paid for it?
Absolutely not.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
she was, and it looks like at some point somebody possibly sort of turned her in for that, and then she got sort of fired.
I thought that what she got, I thought she pissed dirty for weed or something.
No, I don't think that's all it is, but remember, it was also the supposed broken foot and shit, too. But hear tell whispers say that she actually got let go because she was caught accessing people's shit.
Whose things? Who was she at? Whose information was she
I don't
accessing?
know. I do not know. I assume they were probably trying to access mine through it too, but I was not aware of it at the time. But I
Like
know
down
that
in Kansas and shit in summer and stuff like that. Where did she work? Do you know? I don't know where Allie even worked.
I don't remember where it was, but she could use her coding for valid and the rest of the medical stuff in order to get in to info.
No, I did not hear that. I've never heard that before, but I hope that's not true.
I did, and whispers say that somebody else called and let them know, and then they were watching for it, and then they just sort of let her go with it.
It will show up when you go look at her license. It's going to tell you why she lost it. That's a very open record.
Yeah, but it's one of those, they wouldn't want people to know that, wouldn't want to be sued, so they'd probably let her go under other terms, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I was not ever told that till just now. No.
That's what I was told months and months and months ago, and continue to be told, so I don't know.
Okay. Well,
but she wasn't the only one doing that, of course, but yeah.
Like, Allie, I feel like I always had a little more respect for Allie. Cam was difficult, and I could never really, have a conversation with him. So I just know that throughout all of this, I've always just been like, can you go get Allie? Can I talk to a woman who isn't, nuttier than a fucking bag of trail mix? Because Cam can be really hard to talk to.
Cam's an abuser, and Cam's an asshole, and Cam's got too many issues. He does not need to be anywhere near social media.
I'm just very upset that he did that on a live, and I feel that it should have been brought down when he couldn't wake her up. Like, they should have been taken off the stream, and if White Boy wanted to report it, he could have. Everybody's
freaking out about that. They had to know. I mean, look, you could tell she was mumbling. It wasn't like she was dying or anything.
No,
she was probably asleep on their methadone or Suboxone.
That did not mean to be, like, it took a while. Like, it was not.
Yeah, but everybody knows they're in treatment. They're on Suboxone. Right. It's going to make you sleepy. You know they're going to come in from that trip. You have to go early in the morning. You get back around the time. They knew that she'd be asleep and they'd be a little fucked up on their dose that day. They knew.
I clicked on it and saw that they were up there. I didn't watch any of that. I watched it after. I feel bad if we didn't call sooner. Like, I really do. I do feel bad that Allie's out there like that. That's out there forever. Like, that's devastating to me, and I don't want it to affect
Well, guess what, man? I appreciate you coming on here and giving me a little clarity because, this just it's getting out of control now. And then she's, really like you have to assume that someone that would go online and try to extort and threaten money out of someone else that helped them. It's just a new level of depravity and a new low. And so it really has me thinking that, Jody Sue's situation is probably, it's probably pretty dangerous, right? I mean, she's scratching for whatever she can get from past stuff. And so what does that really tell you about her present? It's a dire situation there, I would say. So, I just think that you ought to be on the lookout, of course, and I know you keep your head on a swivel and, just stay in front of this situation because I do believe that her behavior will continue to escalate.
So that's unfortunate for her. I'm sorry that she's going through such a time. I really did feel so sorry for her, and I would spend hours upon hours upon hours talking to her. But it turned out like she was actually talking and messaging with probably just about everybody else in the world at the time. I thought that I was a vent for her. I didn't cry, I didn't dig or ask her crazy questions about Summer. She spent a tremendous amount of time talking about Andy and that situation, and I was just we just kind of, and I say we because it was more than just myself. It was me and two of my moms at the time. We all spent a tremendous amount of time either messaging with her on Discord or on the voice chat, and that's time I'll never get back. So really, maybe I should be compensated for fucking listening and wasting my fucking time.
But a portion of I know because I have a relationship with Penny behind the scenes, and she's a really solid gal. And so I know that a great deal of the portion of the time you spent on the phone with that lady, it was encouraging her and trying to help motivate her to, get on up and get going with it, right?
Well, no, it was all I told her I would never screenshot stuff and put it out. And I really don't want to do that because I do think to an extent her situation is dire, and I do think that there's validity in the danger of her situation with the people who are around her. So I didn't want to do that. But, this has been going on for a very long time. And it's, every day that somebody says, Jody Sue said this, it's like, oh my God, why don't I just put out these damn messages? But no, I don't know. It's,
Don't let her character influence.
That's what my mom just said, Penny. She said, don't let her character influence yours. And that's the thing, right? If there is absolutely a threshold, Miss Penny, that you should allow people to do and threaten and say online. Once you reach a certain threshold, man, what we had talked about before is no longer valid. Like you know, it's not like one of those look what you made me do, but it kind of is like a look what you made you like you know, like you keep saying these things, it's almost under the guise because she knows you're that solid that she can talk this kind of shit and still know you're not going to put the messages out, right?
Yeah. If you ever reach that point, I think it's up to you to let her know that you were going to expose them and not have any surprises.
There you go. Like this is my co-host. This is my mom. So,
well, I mean, she has. I mean, I would assume she has all the messages too. Like, I don't know why not put them out? I said I wasn't going to anyway, but she is under the impression that all of these YouTubers are working together behind the scenes. And you know, the first time I ever had any sort of correspondence with you was in your chat when you were talking shit about her and Andy, and I was like, no, this isn't true. And like that was the first time, and like behind the scenes I was telling Joyce, I'm like, look, I'm gonna have to make peace because you know, this isn't okay, because at the time I was like, one, I didn't like you, and two, I looked like you and Squall were trying to set her up, and God, I only wish I would have listened to Squall, because holy shit.
Yeah. Right?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's a lesson in character.
That's all.
You're responsible for yours.
And you know what? You're also smarter now, Miss Penny, that you'll be able to identify certain types of characters, you know, personality types, because, you know, you've got just a few really base staple personality types that come here, right? So, you know, you also won't be drug into scenarios where, you know, you end up finding out your picker may have been broke or you were bamboozled or whatever, you know. So I know that I've had many scenarios here where my picker was broke. And so now it's made me very jaded, and, you know, and we know, like, you know, people put my phone number out once a day or twice a day. And when that happens, you know, I start getting the weird, hey, how are you? Or the calls, people saying, who is this? And I'm like, do you always call numbers offline and say, who is this? Like, it's a bunch of weirdos. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, after Jody Sue, I really didn't. I told myself, like, I was so, like, ugh, I'm never, ever, ever, ever gonna talk to somebody close to the case again. That's why, like, when you messaged me and asked if I wanted to come up and ask Dawn some questions, what did I say?
Yeah, you said, hell no.
I said, no, not really.
Yeah.
And you see, the problem is with the last audio I played, is this is Penny in Benny's chat, September 15th, before we were ever public. And you see, the problem is with the last audio I played, is this is Penny. This is Penny in Benny's chat, September 15th. September 15th of 2021. Before Penny'd ever talked to me, anything like that. None of it. But then there she is throughout all this swearing they didn't know each other. Nobody was this, nobody was that. Nobody connected, right? Same song and dance so good in y'all. And in the discords and this and other. But I swear to all of y'all, otherwise, this whole time. And then, obviously, I'll be connected, like you just heard Squall and Benny and all that stuff in the last audio. Right. Penny, to me, when they were pulling the blackmail stuff with Squall, and I had to go immediately and tell Benny or Tiffany everything I knew, or Squall was going to make my son look like XYZ. It was, oh, I don't associate with Benny, but I'm going to go put out an olive branch. Well, that was in October. But look, here they are. Now, under changed pants and stuff, of course, but there's Penny, September 15th, 21. And it gets even better, though, really.
Read what? Trisha's father is an unknown man from behind a skating rink in Utah. Thank you, Penny. For shit show. For shit show. For shit show. Truth always wins. Yes.
Now, I'm not sure that many of you know who Dinkum is. Right? A recurring character, let's say, around all kinds of things, most notably fucking with me in the background for eons under many things, and through apps and things, but most recently pretending to be family members of what Big Eyes before and after she supposedly passed away. Now Dinkums went to the Windy and all that. I don't know, and then the other day sending stuff through, but this is Fair Dinkum in Benny's chat, also in September of 21. Right? We'll get there eventually around the block.